Headsets unmuted. Desktop is unmuted. Bear Racing Live. How is everybody? Uh-oh, hold on. Already an issue. There we go. There we go. Now we're on. Hey, it has been, God, maybe 4 or 5 months since the last time I've did a live stream. It gets a little bit difficult every once in a while when you have to edit a 25-minute video as well as plan an entertaining show by yourself. So what I did for this week is reach out to a friend of mine, Jamie from Club Wago. Is it Wago or Wago? I don't think I've ever pronounced it.
It's Wago. It's Wago.
Wago, all right. To assist me in making some of the greatest predictions the world of dirt modified racing has ever had. So this is something new I'm doing. Feel free for everyone to jump in the chat and tell us how awesome and spot on our predictions are going to be, as well as if any issues that I'm not seeing from my end, like maybe my voice is too loud or his voice is too loud. We're going to be doing some highlights like we always do, so if that's a little loud or whatever, feel free to chime in. Feel free to have some fun. It's Wednesday night modified racing, baby. Here we go. All right, so what we have going on is we've entered big money season, big race season, some people call it, which is essentially where all of the crown jewel races in modified racing happens during these 2.5 months. It's where some of the greatest memories are had from camping at Super Dirt Week, from meeting new heroes in driver introductions, from like King of the Can or Freedom 76. New races like the World Finals that don't have a lot of history to them, but are still just as entertaining and prestigious to win. So we thought it would be a fun idea to just give a shot at what we think we're going to see this year, maybe give some little insights, some behind-the-scenes analysis on what 2025 is going to look like. And like I said, I brought in Jamie here to give me a helping hand. So, Jamie, you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I'm just kind of basically a race fan. I'm nothing too exciting here, but came from I actually wrote for Ariato for a brief time. Was with Super DIRTcar Series for a little bit. I interned with them, did their PR coordination for 1 year back in 2011, and then since then had the Club Wago site. We had our parties at Syracuse Mile for a long time. Did our winter parties for the Chili Bowl, stuff like that, and we've reined it back a little bit. Some of the Dirt Track Digest guys like to make fun of us that now we go to bed early and everything like that, and we transitioned to the day drinking thing. But no, still just big fans and live for this time of the year.
Don't say transition to the day drinking thing, because that's just all Oswego is for 3 days, man.
Yeah, no, it's I'm getting old now. I'm 36, and
I
don't remember the way I used to be. Yeah, I used to be able to, just bounce right back, and now I can't do it anymore.
Oh my God.
But that's the fun part about big race season is all of the nightlife and the tailgating, all that stuff, right? I mean, from last weekend it kind of kicked off with the Coal Cracker and Mr. Dirt Track USA, and you have that kind of it's about the atmosphere, and that's what makes it fun. It's kind of regular season stuff's over, so you see a lot of outsiders coming in, a lot of fans from other areas coming in, and that's really what makes this part of the year so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's guys who you don't normally see on your weekly Friday, Saturday night roster who are big names somewhere else in the region come in and try to show you why you should be their fan.
Absolutely. And you've seen a lot of those, situations. I mean, the Freedom 76, or I'm from down near Grandview Speedway, and everybody still talks about when Doug Carlisle came down and invaded and took the money. And we've seen Stuart Friesen do it in more recent times. I'm wearing my Doug Hoffman stuff. He comes down from Allentown, comes and takes the money at the Fonda 200 or Eastern States or Super Dirt Week. That's what makes it fun. The guys coming in and invading, and then you get the hometown guys versus the invaders, and there's just always a ton of storylines too.
Yeah, exactly. It's genuinely one of my favorite times of the year. I do see my own microphone peeking out a little bit, so I just lowered it. Hopefully that's better. But yeah, it is. I mean, it's Christmas season for modified racing fans is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, and it goes. I mean, we got basically 2 months of it because it goes.
Uh-oh, what just happened? Uh-oh, did I just drop frames? Nope, I'm good. Uh-oh, hold on, I might have. Hold on. Okay, all right, I think we're back now. That was weird. That's never happened before.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I've always said in these streams, I'm a mechanical engineer. All of this computer nonsense, man, if something goes wrong, we're done.
I went to school for writing, so I'm not going to be any help at all.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Uh, I keep looking out over to my side over here. I have my laptop set up just to monitor the stream, so that's why I kind of saw it off the corner of my eye. Skip for a second, but I think we're back now. I think we're all good. So let's introduce all of the tracks or races we're going to actually be predicting here. So I put together a list. It started off small and it grew incredibly quickly. So what I basically did is I hate to use the purse money and I hate to use how much it is to win, but that's exactly what I did. Is if it pays more than a standard Super DIRTcar Series race, it was thrown on this list. Good way to do it, bad way to do it. I don't know. It's the first time we're doing this, man.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is if you just make every single special race, you would like triple this because then you mentioned the King of the Can earlier, and then you got All-Star Cup weekend at New Egypt, you got the Danny Serrano at Bridgeport, Delaware State Championships all the way up through. I mean,
The
there's
Gobbler at
the
Accord, man. How could you
yeah,
forget about the Gobbler?
yeah. There's a ton of them. You got Race of King. I think it rained out now, but Race of Kings this weekend at Lebanon Valley.
Yep.
Yeah, there would be like six every weekend leading up to it. So, yeah, there's no rhyme or there's no right or wrong way. You got it.
Yeah, well, again, that's why, this is such a great season. If we have 3 to 6 races every weekend where it's like, oh, it's a crown jewel. Everybody's got to win this race. It's so fun. And I think the best part about this is like living in 2025 is there's that column over there that says watch on, where you don't have to be a track chaser to watch all these. You can buy a virtual ticket, still support the race, and watch the races live.
Yeah, no, and I mean it allows a lot of people to kind of stay in tune with what's going on throughout the season. Um, this is a weird take, but I do think that a little bit of the mystique for some of these big races is kind of hurt by the streaming. I still love watching them, but like there was something about watching getting Area Auto the following Tuesday and seeing all the pictures and seeing who didn't qualify at some of these massive races. Like I still think that the Outlaw 200 and the Freedom 76 are still a little bit special because you have to be there to watch it. But with that being said, I'm very glad that they are streamed because you can't get to them all.
It's funny you mention that because even though I'm an Orange County guy, I never actually was able to make it to Eastern States until I graduated college. Because while I was in high school and young enough, my parents didn't want to take me to sit in 40-degree snow in central New York. And then, when I was in college, I had to, go to college, go to class. So hearing all the stories about how hype Eastern States weekend is, but not actually being able to see it, you hit it right on the head. It's like this grand event that is like magical and it's mysterious. I can't believe you said that. That's so funny that was something I like dealt with my whole life.
Yeah, well, that's good parenting to shield you from the 31st lap at Eastern States, the New Year's Eve party, and the Halloween party. That's tip of the cap to your
They
parents.
can only shield me for so long, Jamie. I found out. I know what it's like now.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. So, I think we're good to start jumping into these predictions. Again, if you're watching at home and you have access to the chat, feel free to chime in, give us some predictions or some personal stories you might have of these races if you're looking forward to anything specific. Come hang out, or if you guys just want to, cuddle up in a blanket with a bucket of popcorn and watch two idiots talk, that's more than fine too.
Yeah, we'll get that covered, no problem.
Says the Wago juice guy. DC Danny Carlo of Street Stock Stories fame on the channel. What's up, Danny? Welcome in, man. All right, so the first race on the list is the Cavalcade 100, the Super DIRTcar Series race at Weed Sport. It is the third and final time in 2025 that the Super DIRTcar Series will be at Weed Sports Speedway. So, Jamie, do you want to start this one off? What do you think we're going to see at this race?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this race has gotten rained out every year that they've tried to run it so far. I think they used to do what, Friday, Saturday, if I remember right, and I think even a couple weekends got completely washed out. As for they upped the purse though to 17,600 to win, so I believe off the top of my head, that makes it the second highest paying Super Dirt Series race of the season. It's really hard at Weedsport to bet against Matt Williamson, though. He only got the one win this year. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I know Peter Britton got the one where he actually got the Summerfest win. I remember Eric Rudolph picking up a win when they were with it wasn't a Super Dirt Series show, but with the World of Outlaws. And Rudolph's another one that's always good there. He's picked up the Hall of Fame 100 in the past. But man, going against Matt Williamson at Weedsport, and he's been on a bit of a run lately, just coming off the Wade Decker win on Monday night. Locked up the Canandaigua Championship, locked up the Ransomville Championship. He's kind of stretching his lead on the Super Dirt Series. So bit of a cop-out answer, but I'm going Matt Williamson for this one. But keep your eye on Alex Payne because he's been a rocket ship there the last few times, going back towards the end of last year too.
I didn't realize it actually is the second highest paying DIRTcar Series race right after Oswego. I didn't. Wow.
Yeah, because Lebanon Valley used to be 17.5,
It
and
was
then now it's
15.5 this
15.5.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, I know they backed it up so that it's more money to start and more spread out, but uh, yeah, 17.6.
Ooh, man. So we're going to see a lot of guys running in the top five make just a little bit more desperate passes and desperate moves to try to just get a little bit better. But man, that money is juicy. But I'm going to go with maybe a little bit of a dark horse in this one. I'm going to go with someone who had a very good big money season last year. He is either, oh man, I should have wrote this down. He's either track owner or he races for the track owner. I'm going Jimmy Phelps. Lot of history on this track. He has a giant notebook. Like I mentioned last year, you keep disappearing because I keep tabbing out. There you go.
Sorry.
No, it's nothing you can do. Jimmy Phelps. That's who I'm going with. I think he's going to pick up another win at Oswego. My God, Weedsport.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. I think he's the general manager's official title.
Okay.
Al Hankey owns it, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he podiumed during Summerfest, right? I know he was up front pretty long. And then, like you said, he was strong last year at Oswego, which has that slick surface, just like Weedsport. And yeah, can't go wrong with Jimmy Phelps. And he's kind of looking for redemption. I think he's outside. He might have actually just cracked into the top 10 Super Dirt Series points after that last weekend, but I think he was only fifth in points at Brewerton Weekly, if I remember right. Only picked up a couple wins there, so it's been a bit of an off year, but no better time to make it up than right now.
Yeah, the one I was thinking of last year too was the Outlaw 200, where that track slicks off a ton because 200 laps. Even though a lot of guys bring the small block modifieds, that track glazes up incredibly easily. But Jimmy Phelps, a lot of experience on this track. He knows what he's doing, and he doesn't want to, kind of fade away from the spotlight just yet. He still has a lot of good laps under his belt.
Yeah, and he looked good at Fulton invading there on Saturday night. Almost got Devin Dorf for the win there late. So riding a little bit of momentum into the weekend.
All right, up next we have the single biggest payday of the season, September 13th. It's over $250,000 goes just to the winners. That's not right. Definitely not $250,000. I got that number somewhere else. I'm looking at these numbers now. There's no way that was right.
Great payday.
But this is going to be the single biggest day of big money season. And it starts off, in my opinion, with the Fonda 200, the short track Super Series. Really, really historic race. It was on and off for a couple times, but I think it's got a good footing now, a good fan base. But with all that being said, how do you not go with Matt Shepard on this, man? He's been dominant at this track before. You have the race that's competing with the Land of Legends race, so they're going to bring all the other Super DIRTcar Series drivers over there. I just don't see the rest of the field being able to give anything to Matt Shepard unless he has some catastrophic failure. Matt Shepard, Fonda 200 winner.
Yeah, it's really hard to bet against him, especially when you consider, I mean, one, it's Matt Shepard, but two, he's the defending winner of the race. Three, he's been absolutely almost unbeatable with his short track Super Series package this year. He's way out in front with the North Horse. Unfortunately, Stuart Friesen's injury kind of ruined that points battle. But Utica Rome runs similar engine rules. He's been dominant there all year. It's really hard to go against him. I would pick Matt Shepard too, but since you took him from me, I'm just going to go a different route here. Jack Lehner, one of the hometown guys at Fonda now. He's not going to be in the Nelson 85 for that show. He'll be in the BDR 02, but that car finished second there in that race last year. He showed a lot of speed. And don't forget how strong he was throughout 200 lappers last year. He top five at Super Dirt Week in the 200 there. I don't remember where he finished at Eastern States, but I know the previous year he was a top five finisher in the Eastern States 200, and like I said, second place in the Fonda 200. So I'll go with the Ginger Ninja, but if you actually are asking me, Matt Shepard, yes, is going to win.
So is it confirmed he's going to bring the BDR car to that one?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know what if the Nelson 85 is going to be there again. Remember, McLaughlin drove that car last year in that race.
that's right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I know that there have been a couple other times where they've had other people drive the car in the 200. So we'll see. I mean, they were right in championship contention again, and McLaughlin showed a lot of speed last year. And obviously, you have the connection with Jack Lehner and Max McLaughlin with the Crazy Eight JLR ride for he's this weekend at Can-Am and Weed Sport through Super Dirt Weekend World Finals. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's back in that car, but I don't know for sure yet.
All right, then let's roll right into the next one. We have Racemania Ultimate 21 at Autodrome Drummond. This isn't a race I'm very familiar with, being, an American, but I know a lot of Canadians circle this race on their calendar every year. So, Jamie, I took the first one on the last race, so why don't you lead this one off?
Yeah. So one of the wild cards here on this one is David Hebert. Doesn't run Drummond Weekly anymore, but he's great up there. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be at the Fonda 200. I haven't seen an official schedule yet, but I know that was his original plan. He's followed the whole short track Super Series North Tour so far. So with that being said, I'm going to go with William Racine to pick up this win. He's been really good, one of the rising stars up there. During the Super Dirt Series swing with his small block, he showed a lot of speed up there, and he's knocked on the door of quite a few of these big paying races at Cornwall. I think he kind of breaks through. A little bit of a dark horse pick there. Obviously, Sam Charlin coming off the track championship. Felix Waugh is another guy that you don't know where he's going to end up. If he's there, he's great at Drummond. Picked up a lot of big races there in the past too, but I'm going with a little bit of an upset on that one.
Yeah, you mentioned two guys that I was like rolling around in my head. Is this going to be a big win for them? Can they hold this one off? But someone else I had in mind, and you mentioned him too, Felix Waugh. 2 wins at this track in 2025. The track only raced 6 times, so he has a 33% win rate on top of 8 other wins in 2025. He is sneaky fast in the small block races, and he's sneaky fast in the Canadian races. So I don't know if it's just because we have the American spotlight that we might not see him unless we go to Airborne, Albany, Saratoga. There's another track I'm missing off the top of my head, but he is good if you actually pay attention to him. He's just such a dark horse. I think this is going to be a breakout season. So pay attention to how many times I might say this guy's name in the rest of this list.
It's a good pick too. He won the track championship at Drummond in 2024. On top of that, he already won the Albany 358 championship. He's leading points at Devil's Bowl right now in the 358 race, so he has a chance at that championship.
That's the one I couldn't think of. Yes,
and he's either tied or right with Mike Mahaney. That whoever finishes ahead of the other one is going to take that Airborne championship. So he's got a real shot at 3 track championships this year.
He's just sneaky good, but for some reason, when it comes to these big races, he's just mid-pack, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I still think that
I think this is going to be the breakout year.
And he won the 58 series championship last year too. He's really good with the small block, and that's going to be a small block race. He's definitely getting better and better with the big block. But yeah, I think that's a really good pick on your end.
Okay, so we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I have a selection of highlights that we could also watch from last year's races. Now, Racemania Ultimate 21, I'm not going to try to pronounce it in French, doesn't have highlights, but the Super DIRTcar Series race from last year at this track does. So let's switch over to this screen. Whoa. And check out the other big race from this track last year. So please, again, if volume needs to be adjusted, let me know.
Ladies and gentlemen, a shower of big block power is about to send a shockwave through Quebec. It's King of the North, night number 2, and we are green at Autodrome Drummond.
Okay, so
Working up through turn number 1 and 2. Timmer will have the race lead down the back straightaway, but Anthony Perrego going to go side by side with Jack Lehner as they roll down through turn number 3 and 4. The Ant-Man rocking the bottom as Cedars lead flat number 1, but Perrego already up to that number 2 spot as he rolls down.
Super racy track too. I got to go there for the first time this year up for the Super Dirt Series swing there, and yeah, you want to talk about atmosphere? Drummond definitely had it.
Perrego with a head of steam off the corner though as they come down the front straightaway as Goshan working his way past Jack Lehner on the inside lane. He'll take over the number 3 spot. Perrego going to go back to fourth. Is now Matt Shepard going to look to follow, but yellow flag is out on the speedway as Bernard came around on the inside lane. The 83X going to battle off on turn number 3 and 4. Green flag.
I'm trying to see of the guys there. Lucia doesn't run mods anymore. I'm trying to see who's up front in that show that'll be back there for this one.
Yeah, and it is really hard, especially this date with all of the other big races that are going on. We're not really sure where everyone is actually going to race this year.
Yeah,
Felix Law goes over to Land of Legends instead.
Oh, for sure, yeah, just like with Fonda and Kennedy with that day too. It's don't know who's going where. Sebastian Goujon, he's up front now, and he's another one of their top guys, and he was right in the thick of that championship. He was really fast to World Finals last year too, so he's another guy that should be there.
The Canadian section at World Finals was going wild every time he went on the track. I'm showing you.
Spider-Man.
From looking here, that's going to be a left rear flat tire on the 4-star car. Payne going to try to keep pace as green flag comes back out onto the speedway.
Perrego's had a rough year
this year. Matt Shepard trying to stay to the inside lane. Jimmy Phelps through the middle trying to get by, but Shepard takes off down the back straightaway. He'll look for the number 2 spot on Alex Payne. Shepard trying to pull a slider, backs out of it last second, but Alex Payne gets into the outside wall. Here comes Shepard to the inside. They'll take the number 2 spot away. Matt Shepard takes
right up
here
against the
comes
wall.
Phelps to the inside now. Jimmy Phelps had third for just a second, nosed out ahead to the number 2 spot, but it's Shepard that takes over second, and what a restart by the driver of the 9S machine. Shepard chasing him down into turn number 3 and 4. He'll go to the top, seeing if he can find any bite past the 83X. Shepard all over him as they come down the front straightaway. Shepard goes a lane lower as they head into turn number 1 and 2. The 9S trying to pull the slide job, but Timmer too strong.
I actually think the owner of Drummond, Jan Boussier, who is in this race here, I think he's actually going through a bit of a health issue right now, so hopefully get well soon, Jan.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in the hospital for a little bit, but I think all was okay. He said he'd be at this race, so.
Shepard going to take underneath the 83X as they go into turn number 1 and 2. This time he'll stay with him
as
they head down the back straightaway.
Alex Payne back up to the number 3 spot behind him. Here's
Shepard trying to slide jump.
He had so many just taken away from him. Look at that move.
Yeah, he was fast there. Is this, trying to see how many left. Yeah, this is one where he got passed late, and then he had the Fulton thing last year during Summerfest where he clipped the Uke tire.
Yep.
That was a heartbreaker. And how many podiums did he have before that? I know he had at least a pair at Albany that I can think of off the top of my head. I know he had one at Brewerton years ago. So it was nice to see him break through finally. And for Troyer too. I mean, hey, I'm not anti-Bicknell, but it's nice to have some not the same thing out there.
Yeah, exactly the same. I want to see some parity in manufacturers, tires, engines. That's the part of what makes motorsport so great.
As they head down into turn number 3 and 4. Shepard lurking on the top side, may be able to use Stone as a pick off turn number 4. They'll drag race down the front stretch. It's still Timmer right there. 5 laps to go. Here's Shepard up on the top. Matt Shepard trying to make a move. The 83X.
Yeah, that surface is awesome. It gets wide, it's fast, it's and yeah, like I said, there aren't many places that better atmosphere than Drummond or Granby.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a smooth track, but it still has a bunch of grip. I mean, look at the moves these guys are making.
They'll work down off turn number 4. This is your Barrett's 1 lap to go as the white flag is out on the speedway. straightaway. One more trip around, but Matt Shepard's got traffic right in front of him. He'll try to find a lane to the top side off turn number 2. Can Sears get back to him down into turn number 3 and 4? Checker flag comes out on the speedway. Sears one last
Glad
shot
they
on
fixed
the bar.
that
The winner of King of
opening
the
a
North,
little
fight
bit there.
number 2
Hopefully they
is
do a little
Super
bit more
Matt
work to it,
Shepard.
but
Second will be Tim Sears
yeah, there's
Jr.
like
Alex
nothing
Payne
protecting
comes
it
across
back
the
last
line
year.
in spot
Yeah.
number 3.
Opening going into
Up out of
3
the
there.
car, the
Yeah,
winner
it's,
of the King of the North
a
finale.
lot of
Here
tracks are
at
starting to get
Autodrome
better. I
Drummond,
mean,
the
Orange
10-time
County used to have all
defending
those
Super
openings in
DIRTcar
the front
Series
stretch and the back
champion,
stretch. And
Super
a couple
Yeah, I
years
saw,
ago, they pushed that up.
Shepard.
Saw a few guys
That
catch
was
those
awesome.
there too.
You know, I felt like we haven't been able to do anything right.
Do you wanna watch,
Even when we're
the
decent,
interview?
we can't catch a break, and I felt like we had a
I
really
don't,
good card.
I don't
and
care.
just
It's
missed
your
the
show.
world
Whatever
Oh,
you
by
want
don't
to
do
do.
that.
one
It's
or
my
two
show. It's your
games.
episode.
Come
Come
up here
on.
and read you 8 for the feature, and
I
I'm
don't
like,
want that
man,
kind of pressure.
when is this going to end? And they dropped the green. I actually lost some positions early in the race, and was probably back to 10th or 11th there, and started picking up some spots. And
Okay, well, this one's a
felt like I
2-minute
had a
interview, so I think we're good on this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a great race, though, man. Drummond, you've mentioned the atmosphere so many times, and it's on par with Syracuse, in my opinion. It's just French.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of town too, which was a surprise.
Okay, so one thing I'm struggling behind the scenes of is it looks like I could only have one screen capture going at a time unless I have 2 windows open. So people watching, if you see Jamie's window flick for a second, that's just what's going on. I'm dying.
Okay.
All right. The Heirs Memorial. I don't remember who went first on the last one. Do you want to start this one off?
I don't mind, but I'm taking like the obvious pick then. So you're taking him off the board for yourself. You sure you're giving me Williamson on that one?
Absolutely.
All right. He's finished first or second in every race other than he had one 5th place finish. He won the championship. I think he won 8 races there. Should have done more research to make sure I was accurate with that, but I believe it was right around that number. He won this race last year. It's really hard to go against him for that show. But sentimental favorite Justin Hares. Obviously, it'd be awesome if you won that show coming off the win in the championship race. If you are about to take Justin Hares, I apologize for talking too much.
No, I'm not. But yeah, Justin Hares winning that race, Candidate will burn down. That would be such a Cinderella story. No, I'm going with someone different. I'm going with someone who was wicked fast, impressed me by miles during Summerfest. Now, this one might have been rained out, but Peter Britton in that Batmobile was phenomenal to watch. He has 2 wins at this track already this season to go with a fifth place points finish. I don't know how you don't pick the Batmobile. Williamson, I understand why, but Peter Britton, man, that car has something magical underneath it. And I think he was using Summerfast to dial in whatever he needed to do for the next 2 months coming up.
Yeah, he definitely got hot at Summerfest there. The Weedsport win, then he was winning Bruton for a long time. It's a shame Canandaigua got rained out. So hopefully he got that black car all dialed in, and that'd be a big win for him. I'm trying to think. I guess the Salute to the Troops 150 is probably his biggest career win, but this one would be right there with him. Yeah, he definitely got hot at Summerfest there.
Ooh, hold on, I'm getting echo. Okay. All right. Wow. All right, so let's jump right into the once again, the Heirs Memorial, not televised, but the Super DIRTcar Series race from last year was. So let's check out this one. I have way too many buttons I need to push. Okay. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to go here. We're going to turn you back on. There we go. All right, that should
Ladies
work.
and gentlemen,
Wow.
a shower of big block power is
That was
about to
impressive.
send a Summerfest shockwave through the Finger Lakes. We're ready to go at Land of Legends, and we are green flag racing at Summerfest.
So do you remember off the top of your head how many laps the Heirs Memorial race is?
100.
Okay, so it is a bit longer than this one.
Yeah, they do.
Rocket trying to take
still
the
do
lead
it,
off
yeah.
of turn 2, but look at Mahaney
think
with
I'm-
the power
I'm
off the bottom of
almost
turn number 2.
sure, like,
Yankowski gonna
I know
try to
for sure
cross
they
him
do the
over
long
here,
heat races,
but
and I think each
Mahaney
one
is
pays
gonna lead
$500
lap number 1.
to win.
Mahaney with the
And
race
it's
lead,
like
Kid
broken
Rock
up so
and
they're almost
Yankowski,
mini
then number 2
features.
spot, Matt Shepard
They're like
already
20
in the
lappers,
spot number 3,
and no
he
matter how
found
many
something
cars they
right
have,
away. He
there's
took
3 of them.
advantage of
But and I
Bob
think it's a
Lyle,
draw show.
Gary
Don't
Lindbergh on the
quote me
first
on
lap,
that one,
Jack
but that's
Laner
kind
up
of
to
the
fourth as
fun
we work
wrinkle in
down
it
into
too, and
turn
that's why
number
they
3 and 4.
pulled in the car
That
counts they
pack
have.
right there with Jack Laner, and then
2
number
years
4
ago they had
spot
over
battle for the
35, and last year they had near 40. They actually outdrew the farm at 200 last year.
They're wheel to wheel off turn number
Yes,
2, but
yeah,
did
and
Yankowski
that
get a
was
little too
a
high?
big
No,
story
he
last
didn't. He
year
got a
when,
good run down the
Can't
back
dig that
straightaway
one,
as he sticks right with Mahaney. They're
that
side by
was
side as they
the
head into
talk
turn number
around the
3 and
stands
4.
always
Mahaney's been a
last
little
year.
better on the inside through 3 and 4. Not that time, though. New leader at the line. It's Alex Yankowski.
Yeah, that last year.
The two drivers, both
Reese
originally
pulled
from
in
Ontario,
38
making their way
entries
down the
the
back
year before
straightaway
that,
as
it was
Stuart Friesen
46,
trying to
so,
find his way past, but
strong
we
car
got yellow
counts.
on the speedway.
It's going to be interesting to see what
as
the car
Matt
count is
Cabrera
there.
has some
The
issues coming
weekly
down
fields
the
kind
front
of fell off a little bit towards the end of the year, but again, whole different season.
Back out on the speedway here with 10 laps complete.
Yankowski will sail it into the top of turns 1 and 2. Shepard's got company back there for
that
third.
Gary
Here comes
Lindbergh?
Williamson and Lindbergh.
I believe it was.
Ooh, that'd be a dark horse pick.
Mahaney.
He's ran well in this race before. I believe he has a top 5. I can verify that.
Because during the regular season, he doesn't really travel much outside of Lansingville.
Matt Shepard trying to
And,
find his way
maybe
around.
he
Smooth
does
shoe
this
on the
season.
top side as they head down
He
the
runs
back straightaway.
Ransomville and
The
Maryville.
35
He actually,
here back
that's
on the
a
bottom.
good
He's been
team.
strong. It just
he'll
takes a
lock
lap or
that
two to
title
get
up
that
this
momentum
weekend.
going, but Shepard finds something
But
up top.
that team that he
This
drives
time
for
they
that
come
Andrew
down the
Saylor
front
team, they're
stretch.
really
Shepard
good,
goes
but they're
out
not a
ahead.
big money
Second
team by any
was
stretch of the
Van.
imagination. And anytime that they go to any of these big races, they're fast and they're strong and they're right there with them. And Gary Lindbergh's probably up there for one of the more underrated drivers in our sport.
Yeah, it was actually him being that underrated is when I started at the end of last year building my own pound for pound formula on how to rank all the modified drivers. And he was always up there in the top 20. It just got to a point where, man, I couldn't keep up with all the races by myself, so I kind of stopped doing that.
I don't blame you. Yeah, he got 5th in the Harris Memorial back in 2022.
Okay.
Money Mac gonna sneak by
So,
Matt
yeah.
Shepard on the inside lane, trying to slide up in front of him and take the lane away off turn
So, yeah,
number
solid
4.
dark
He
horse
does.
pick.
Money Mac to the number 2 spot.
This was the Summerfest deal last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Not
this
gonna
one was,
stop
yeah.
there as he tries to go to the inside of Yankowski off turn
The
number 2.
Ayers Memorial is
Hooked up right to the
broadcasted
bottom of the
on
racetrack
Dirt
this
Vision
time
with
by Williamson with a good look to the
the
bottom,
Land
but
of Legends
Yankowski still
weekly
holding
TV
on.
package
As
they
we'll
have,
put
but they don't
35
post
on the board
highlights
next
in there,
time by.
so
34 in,
that's why I
41
wanted to
remain.
do
Now
this
Williamson to the
year.
inside looking for the lead off turn number 2. He'll knows how to head down the back straightaway, but here comes Yankowski back on the top.
Yeah, Williamson
It's funny,
using
this
some
was the
home track
precursor
notes here. He's
of
been
the
really
points
good
battle we
here
have in the
his
series
6
this
cars,
year.
even better in the
Yeah, that's a good point. I
82 here on lap number
I
35.
didn't expect Alex to make the
Shuts the
leaps he
door,
made
and now
this year,
we've got
but
a
I mean, he
battle
came
here
out of the
between
box hot
Friesen
and he's
and
been
Shepard.
strong.
Oh,
And he won the Summerfest. I mean, it was only 2 races, but he did win the Summerfest mini title last year too. Yeah.
I don't think he expected to be as fast as he was this year, because remember, he started off not committed to winning the whole series.
Yep. Yeah, and actually one of the races we're about to talk about soon was a big reason why he didn't want to miss the Freedom 76er, since he's a defending winner of that race. And it started off as good as he was. He kind of said, we'll skip it.
Shepard trying to take the long way around off turn number 4, but Payne slides up in front of him and
It's amazing how fast Williamson adapted to the Canada, because he wasn't great there until he started running there weekly, and now back-to-back championships and pretty dominant this year.
I mean, that just kind of goes to show just the talent
Shepard
Ronnie
does
Matt
that line
has,
that
and at least
Steve
he's
talked
always
about a little
talked
bit
about
earlier,
as one of the
sliding
big
way to
three
the top,
drivers
trying to
in the
find a way
sport.
around Payne. Stu's going to stay right with him here with less than 5 to go.
Oh, you got to wonder how much tire everybody's got left, because they closed straight up on Payne, but now Friesen and Shepard really leaning on him hard. They're still side by side here into turn 3.
What a battle for spot number 4 here in
Hopefully
the
the tracks like
closing
this
stages of
for
one.
Gerald
Matt
Harris, they had
Williamson is gone. There's no question
it was a
about
bit of a
it.
bummer seeing
Approaching
Canada
two
get
laps
locked
to
down
go.
for the
It's
Super
not
Dirt Series
Land of
race
Legends
earlier, because that
anymore.
really
It's
never
the
happens
Land
there. It's
of
almost always
Flooding.
great racing.
Williamson
Yeah,
gonna
I
bring
mean,
him
you're
off
gonna
turn
get a bad
number
one every
4.
once in a
Checkered
while. It's
flag is
just the
out.
nature
Matt
of
Williamson
the
wins the
fluidity
opening
of
night of
dirt tracks.
Summerfest at Land of Legends. Alex Yankowski will come across the line second, finishing third. At the line is going to be Stuart Friesen.
That's
with
why
a
I picked him.
Beautiful last lap
Yeah,
pass to
no,
get
that's
by
fair.
Payne. Look at the Dirt Vision replay. Williamson going to the, or rather, Friesen going to the bottom on Alex Payne as they come off at turn number 4. He gets by him down the back straightaway.
this.
Payne going to come right back on the inside
Really?
lane, trying to get by, and Alex threw everything to make sure he held on to that number 3 spot. And Friesen, what a crossover on the final lap, just sneaks by right in front as he picks up that final podium position. As he makes
Oh, let's see
his
the
way
big
up
math.
out of the car, the winner of the Summerfest opener at Land of
Yeah,
Legends.
Colby Schroeder pulled out a little bit of that I saw on Thursday night.
Oh, he was having a blast with that one, man. Okay, let me get. All right, cool. Yeah, it was funny because I don't know if you noticed in the broadcast, Schroeder actually struggled opening the beers at first. So it took him like a second to like get it open, and once it opened, it shot him in the face like immediately.
You gotta wear it. You gotta wear it.
Oh yeah. Oh, he still had a smile on his face. I mean, that's the biggest win of his career. You know, that's
Yeah, no, that was awesome to see, and that great way to kick off the season. He's been so close in that race before. He's always a freaking rocket ship.
hmm I actually ran into Flynn online race data at that race, friend of the channel, and we were talking about it. We were talking before the race on how that weekly roster is one of the best when it comes to these big races.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Valley boys definitely have a home track advantage there, and random, but they also have like the best wraps. A buddy of mine pointed that out, and yeah, they got some beautiful race cars there weekly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what do we got next? So after that, we have the Dale Plank 358 Memorial. Now I had to double check the name of this race because they had the Dale Plank Memorial at Thunder Mountain with the Super DIRTcar Series earlier this year.
Yeah, Dale spent a lot of time up at Mohawk running there weekly though, throughout the year. So, um, it's nice to have multiple tracks honor him, but Mohawk definitely has more ties to Dale Plank than Thunder Mountain did, arguably. Um, so it makes sense. And $7,700 to win. That's definitely their highest paying race of the year, and it's nice to give something back to those weekly guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so mentioning the weekly guys, my pick for this one, he finished fourth in points at Mohawk this year. He's the Glen Ridge champ. And I think because of all the big names that are going to go to Fonda, Drummond, Canandaigua, I think Jordan McCready's got a really, really good shot at picking up this win. Now, that's not a knock on his skill, saying that he doesn't have much competition. He held his own at the Dale Plank race at Thunder Mountain earlier this year. I remember seeing him live for that. I think it's hard to go against Jordan McCready in this one.
Yeah, and that Flack team's always been strong when they have appeared at Mohawk over the years, whether it's with Jeff Sykes or even back to Tyler. Wow, I think a brain fade. Tyler Meeks. But I am going to go with Kerry Terrence on this one. A bit of a sentimental one. Of course, Dale Plank drove that Res X 77X for a long time. Kerry's had a rough year. I'm sure he'll be the first one to admit that. Really out of the Cornwall Championship hunt. Did pick up a win at Mohawk this year, but I'm hoping that he's due, and I'm hoping that he's able to be extra motivated trying to win that for someone that he has a lot of ties to, and it'll be an emotional victory lane, I'm sure.
That's funny because I was thinking on Kerry Terrance for this one, but I have a feeling he might go to the race at Drummond, which is why I went with McCready instead. I think he's going to be one of the guys to go. Now, again, I don't have any confirmation on this, but that's just what my hunch is going to be.
Yeah, I think with his ties to Dale, I think that he'll be a Mohawk. But
Okay.
we'll see.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see, but all right. Father of New York Rangers player Kerry Terrance.
That's right.
I'm this close to buying a Terrance New York Rangers jersey and wearing it to Oswego. I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, gotta rock it.
Okay. No highlights from Mohawk, so let's jump into Grandview. I took the race at Mohawk first, so I'll let you have this one.
Yeah, so the Freedom 76er.
Don't steal this one from me.
Well, okay. Why don't you go first? Because I'm going to say two guys.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my pick for the Freedom 76 winner, he has gone winless this year at Grandview, even though he still finished third in points. That just shows you the great consistency this driver is having. To pair that up with a championship at Big Diamond, I'm going to lock it in. Loudon Reimer is going to take home the Freedom 76 win this year.
All right. Well, he was fast at at Coal Cracker too. He caught that
Mhm.
U tire, and that kind of messed up his race.
Mhm.
I'm going with two different guys, so I would have been safe.
Okay.
So who I think is going to win is Ryan Godown. He just won the Coal Cracker. He didn't race a whole lot with the right side Panhard bar, but when he
Mhm.
did, went out there, won the Coal Cracker, and was a rocket ship most of that night. He's won the Freedom 76er twice before. He's riding some momentum coming off of that New Egypt Speedway Championship. That's who I think is going to win. But keep your eye on Logan Watt. He won $10,000 earlier this year at the Forest Rogers there. Of course, everybody was talking about him back in March when he was one of the fastest cars in New Egypt and was on the podium. He freaking throws that car into three harder than anybody else. If that track gets wide, keep your eye on Logan Watt. I think he's a guy that's going to potentially surprise everybody at race.
We have a chatter, Ken Bruce, who also says Logan Watt is going to pick up the win on this one. And I was thinking about it too. He is a sneaky fast kid. I just don't know how he's going to handle the pressure at some of these bigger races just yet.
I would question that too, but the Forest Rogers was a 50 lapper. He won that one. He kind of backed into a little bit when Strada and Strunk got together, but he finished second in the Coal Cracker just last week. Was all over Ryan Godown for a long time in that one. I think Ryan saved his stuff a little bit and ended up pulling it out, but he's shown a lot of speed, and it's been fast in those Super Dirt Series races he's made earlier in the year too. So yeah, it's he's gonna be really good, and he's already really good, and I think he could get that first crown jewel.
Yeah, the future of this sport is so bright, man. With Logan Watt, we have Tanner Van Doren, who might be a dark horse pick as well on this one. Alex Yankowski.
Felix Waugh is still.
If he wasn't going to Malta, man, that's hard to pick against him.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, all those young guys that you mentioned. Felix Waugh is another one. There's Jackson Gill. There's they're all over the place. So yeah, like you said, the future's definitely bright.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we do have highlights from this race last year. Hey, don't steal those picks. Oh wait, no we don't. Never mind. There was the 2023 race I almost put on, not last year's. So we'll skip that one for now. Amateur broadcasts. Hey. All right, so I definitely went first on the Freedom 76, so I'm just stalling to let the screen scroll here so I don't flip back. Malta Massive Weekend. Jamie, I'll let you have this one first.
So I think Mike Mahaney's going to take that again. A little bit of probably of a cop-out answer in that one. Yeah, he picked up the 258 portion of this race a year ago. Is the defending track champion, just claimed that championship there. He's been extra motivated since he had the kid, and I think he rides some of that momentum and picks up the $10,000 victory at Malta.
Can we get the kid copyrighted before he does? Yeah, no, that's a great pick. He was definitely someone I had rolling around in my head. I did pick him for some of the future ones coming up. But what do I have for Malta Massive Weekend? We have a driver who was battling for the win in the Mr. Dirt Track USA race, but he could not beat Schroeder. He's winless, but second in points at this track. I'm going to go with the Dark Knight, Mark Johnson, a very, very strong challenger in this region of New York. Always picks it up during big money season, and like I said, he hasn't won yet at this track so far this year. He wants to change that like nobody else.
And he's another one of those guys we were talking about, Tim Sears Jr. a little bit earlier, that has been so close to that Super Dirt Series win and just hasn't quite broken through yet. And maybe he takes Timmer's lead and finally gets that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we do have, I promise, a race. Oh, don't steal my picks. Damn it. I keep doing that. There we go. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, a shower
There we
of
go.
big
All right.
block power is about to send a massive shockwave through Saratoga. It's Malta Massive Weekend, and we are green at Albany, Saratoga.
Billy Decker sighting.
Yep.
Off turn two for the first time down the back.
I forgot that front row, Danny Johnson and Decker.
Yeah, straight out of 1998.
There's going to be double D, Demetrius Trellos, but leading lap number one, the doctor looking to make a
And I know the fans of this track love this weekend. There are so many campers that go to the slow walk race on Friday as well as this one on Saturday. They make a weekend out of it.
Yeah, I think I saw pictures last year that they were pitting cars in the parking lot too. There's not enough space in those pits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just Malta's just such an awesome facility and an awesome track, and there's hopefully we have that still around for a long time.
I think we do. We can't lose sight of the fact that the town board did take a vote on it. They did vote to keep it a racetrack for now. It's going to take a lot of lobbying to get it put back up to a vote before they vote on it again. I think we're okay. At least in the short.
Yeah, it's been a scary few years. We almost lost Drummond, we almost lost Granby, we almost lost Albany, so support your local.
I see that.
Position. He'll go to fourth, dealing Billy Decker back to spot number 5. Your leaders are within a half a straightaway of catching the tail of the field now as they work their way down
Danny
to
Johnson led a good portion of this race. I forgot about this.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Gotta go back and watch the video.
Demetrius Trellis is another good dark horse. I know we had motor issues and he's trying to get that ready in time, and it's not back together yet, but if he gets it all back together and comes back with a fresh piece, he won one of these a couple years ago.
Oh, he won the race.
Yeah, he won. It wasn't Malta Massive weekend then, I don't think, but he won a Super Dirt Series race at Albany. Yeah.
Okay. I remember. I think it was this track 2 years ago. He won a championship at as well. I think he pulled it up in front.
Yeah, he definitely. I believe you are right. I know he won an Albany one, and he did win a Fonda one. So, yeah, he's been good in a long time. I just, I get everybody likes late models, but we should stick to the modified.
To be fair, I did buy one of his shirts. It's in the pile behind Barry with his big block and his late model.
Those big block guys.
Well, how you doing back there, man?
Kenny Bright, Bill Vic Coffee, Brett Hurd, and Wayne Jones.
That's such a good one.
Just before the corner. That's going to bring yellow flag on the speedway for the first time. Back to green flag racing. Danny Johnson taking the top side. He's got a new dance partner here as he's got
Ryan McCartney. Did he race this year?
To his inside. They'll go to the VP making PowerPoint.
I think he did in the earlier part of the
year.
He's another young guy that has shown some flashes here and there.
There's something telling me that he had some car trouble where he had to drop off in the second half.
I believe it was, it was affected the summer, but I know that he had been attending college classes as well, which was limiting some of his fall racing.
Back to fourth, now entering the top 5 for the first time. Here comes Super Matt Shepard, cracking the top 5 here before the quarter.
I don't even remember who won this.
And as that happened, Demetrius Strello still right only a couple of car lengths behind.
I do, only because one of my college buddies who lives in the area, I was able to convince to go to this race with me, and the winner of this race is now his favorite driver.
Ready to go once again as they come down off turn number 4. Green flag is out.
Demetrius Strello's got a
I really don't remember Danny Johnson being this good at this race. So this is awesome.
Danny Johnson off the corner, 3 wide back now for the number 5 spot. Felix Wastic in his
his off season it was late in the off season until he landed something, and I'm glad Tim Gibson decided to come back and he managed to win it out well.
Yes, he did.
But he's going to open the door for Sears down the back straightaway.
Sears going to look down to the inside of Danny Johnson. Side-by-side battle there. Got another side-by-side battle back behind him. As now Felix Watts.
So we didn't mention this during the predictions, but the winner of this race is a guaranteed race for Super Dirt Week. So we might see some of the guys again in the top 3 or 4 make just a little bit of an aggressive pass that they might want to try to guarantee themselves a spot in this race.
Yeah, especially if it's a guy that doesn't have that provision to rely on.
Now they work their way off the corner. Tim Sears still using that inside lane. He has got it now. He'll take second away from Danny Johnson. Johnson back to third.
Shepard on the bottom trying to get by Wise. Wise glued to the back bumper of the 27.
Timmer's very good at Albany for not running there.
The problem for Wise right now, Jeff Taylor's right
Yeah, it's just, again, like the strings of bad luck races that just keep fighting.
Shepard has slipped by on the inside continuing their battle. Danny Johnson way up to the top side. They're 3 wide coming down the front straightaway. And Shepard read it like a book. He went to the bottom where nobody else was. And he'll take the number 3 spot away off turn number 2. Matt Shepard showing his experience, paying off.
I think I'm starting to figure out who's going to win.
Now he's up to a podium position, 11th and 3rd for Superman here with 54 in the books.
Oh, yeah?
As these two continue to battle, Williamson drawing in behind them as well, but Shepard trying to take the move on the outside lane once again. They're wheel-to-wheel going up into turn number 1 and 2. Shepard trying to take the long way around off the corner, wheel-to-wheel down the back straightaway. Tibbert ain't good as good of a drive as he usually does off turn number 2 that time. Shepard slides up the racetrack off turn number 4. We'll see if he can get the momentum at the line. It's still Sears by about the front axle on the
Looking at some of the locals still for that Di Lorenzo, Shane, Adam Pearson, a lot of good dark picks.
Yeah, what a weird year Matt DeLorenzo had. He like blew up opening night when it was twin races, so he was buried in the point standings, then went on that crazy tear in the middle of the summer and notched off a bunch of wins and climbed right back into it, and then had a couple DNFs towards the end of the year and kind of fell right back out of it.
Yeah, definitely a year to remember and for the same time.
Yeah, yeah. And he's a guy, though, too, a former track champion here that been close a few times to notching that first Super DIRTcar Series win and just hasn't quite been able to seal the deal. And that would be another one that would tear the house down a little bit if he could defend the home turf against those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just like the Lebanon crowd, the Albany crowd loves the Albany's.
Right now, I think I know who won. Yeah.
In just 2 laps off of turn number 2.
Here comes Sears back at Williamson down at turn number 3.
The guys that are, I mean, Williamson's really, really good at Brewerton, too. Those guys that are good at Brewerton, they do well at all.
Ooh, some concept there. Yeah, I think Brewerton, Albany, and Reed Sport just kind of, you're able to get the same package going. And you're able to run one of those tracks at the same time. I don't really know why, because they're all really different tracks. That could have been worded better, but you know, the point gets across.
Shepard comes right back to the inside as they're wheel-to-wheel through traffic. Sears right there behind him as they continue to fight for position. Jeff Taylor right in front of the 88 machine. That allows Shepard to dive back to the inside here as we approach 20 laps to go in the Multimassive weekend finale.
Now 82 on the board. That battle separates a bit as they work their way down here into turn 3. We got yellow out on the raceway. Yellow lights are on. Lightning Larry off the pace. Here on the front straightaway. Yellow is out with 82 complete.
Green flag is back out onto the speedway. We're back underway.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple years. I know he experimented with a bunch of stuff, and I think he kind of went back towards his basic package a little bit and notched that win at Brewerton and ended up climbing up inside of the top 5 in points at Brewerton. So he's a guy that honestly might be a decent sleeper pick at like the Fulton 200 or even Super DIRTcar, where he won before. Because if he goes back to the basics and kind of, we've seen he can wheel as good as anybody. It's just messing around with some of the suspension stuff. If he was going to hit on it, it was going to be awesome, but it just never quite worked out. So was glad that he pulled out that older car, and I'm interested to see if that he can run that momentum now into some of these big races, or if it was just comfortable car and a comfortable track.
Yeah, you mentioned he stopped playing with the Charlie, he went back to a big now. I was just incredibly shocked to see the headline that he dropped off the SDS team.
Yeah, he left it a few years ago when it was a bit of the Fulton, Brewerton, and Dirt thing wasn't, you know, there was a little bit of a disagreement, and did some of the STSS stuff. He was driving for the Gary Simpson team and everything like that. But yeah, it was nice to have him come back onto the tour the last few years, and yeah, they all kind of fell off at the same time. I think it was a Big Diamond. All of a sudden, he wasn't there. Daniel Johnson wasn't there. I think they had motor issues, and was it maybe CG Mori? It seemed like everybody kind of fell off at the same time.
Trying to wind it back up once again as they come by to click off 91, but it's Sears at the line.
I think that was also the race where
flag this time
He was
by.
going for the
This
rookie
is
of
your
the year
Barons,
honors
one
drop
lap
off.
to go.
Well, I think he got
Larson
involved in
driving
that
it up
nasty
for
wreck at
spot
Sealand
number
Grove the
9
next
tonight.
night, and
Got
that was
by
kind
on
of
the inside lane, taking
what's
advantage.
the-
He'll roll into
Yeah,
turn
was
number
a-
3 and
we see
4
some
and looking
tough
to sweep
crashes this
here
season.
as he will come bring it off
I know. I mean, even you know, we were talking about the 76er, and one of the guys that would have been a favorite, Brett Presley. He didn't have a terrible violent wreck, but busted his wrist up, and he's, I believe, probably out for the year. It sounds like he's still on the mend right now, and it doesn't look like he's going to come back. Hopefully he does, but you had that. Of course, we already talked about the Stuart Friesen situation. Don't forget, Gilt's head got hurt really bad. I believe he fractured a couple bones in his neck at Canada early in the year. So,
Yep.
And all those sprint car wrecks as well. It's been a bit of a scary year.
Yeah, but you know, it's just a testament to see everyone, you know, maybe not walk out, maybe get some help out, but these cars are the safest they've ever been.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of scary wrecks over the years where you don't, not so sure. You're kind of holding your breath for a little bit, and knock on wood, they always end up getting out. So
Yeah. And then right back into a car.
yeah.
All right, so moving on, we go to September 27th. Lay RPM Speedway hosts the Clash Offshore Track. Now, I'm actually not sure how much this race is going to pay to win, but I threw it on here just in case.
Yeah, I like it. Why not? More racing to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first in this one, or am I going first?
I think you went first with Albany,
All right.
so I'll take the helm on this one.
Sure.
This driver has 8 wins on American Racers. He also is coming off a big win at Afton. Chris Raby, I think, is going to take the win on this one. A young driver. I kind of joke about American Racers, but having really, really good knowledge about how the tire compounds are going to be, and if this is going to be a little bit of a longer race, having that notebook in your corner is going to help a lot. And Raby has just been phenomenal the last couple of years if you do pay attention to some of the smaller races, track championships, big race wins like at Afton. Chris Raby, I think, is going to take the win on this one.
Yeah, he's got a lot of big wins. That's a really good pick, and he's won at least 2 there this year. I know he beat the American Racer 58 series up there, and then it doesn't matter if he's in his own 01 or that Levier 4K car. That's got to be the odds-on favorite. David Hebert is going to be another one that's going to be really tough, but I'm actually going to go with Sebastian Goujon. He runs really good at that little track. Likes throwing that thing sideways. So I'm going with Spider-Man to take that one.
Yeah, he's definitely going to put on a show at that place this year. I wish I could watch it because I do love that track. It's a really weird niche track that I like, but it puts on good races. And Goujon's driving style is just always entertaining to watch, either on the TV screen or in person. That's a good pick. That's a good one.
Yeah, and they've done a really good job of building that facility up from where it was. So it's definitely a really cool track, and it's the only bull ring they really have up there in Quebec.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising. The guys up there love their big half miles, which I'm all for. You know, growing up in Orange County, I love my big tracks too.
Yeah, well, I mean, Granby's still massive, and I didn't realize how much they shortened Drummond until I was there. I could see the old outline of the track, and I think old Drummond was bigger than Granby.
Yeah, I think it was a 5/8.
Yeah, it was massive, but I mean, still fast, and definitely not comparable to as little as RPM is.
Mm-hmm. All right, so up next we have the next one I've highlighted. This is the ones I've highlighted are the 200 lappers, probably the bigger of the big ones. The Outlaw 200 at Fulton Speedway. Jamie, who you got?
I'm going with Tim Sears Jr. in this one. He finally broke through with that Super Dirt Series win. It's time for him to break through and pick up that other crown jewel win at his own home track. Had a little bit of an off year at Fulton, honestly, compared to the last few years. He's a multi-time champion there. Did still have to miss a week, but Billy Dunn kind of snuck in there and won the championship relatively easily. So bit of an off year, not as dominant as usual. So hopefully that means that he finally breaks through at the end of the year, unlike the other years where he was so dominant and then kind of came up empty-handed when it came to the 200.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off momentum of his first SDS win. Um, that's honestly the momentum factor in racing. People like to write it off, but I think it's a lot more real than what people give it credit for. You have that saying: once you get the first, the second one's the easiest. So he's got a lot of things going in his corner. And Billy Dunn, I'm really surprised to see his name show up on the top of the charts at the end of the year. I wasn't paying too much attention to Fulton, but that was really cool to see. Something for the old timers, I guess you could say. All that said, though, I'm going to go with someone who has 7 wins this year in the small block division, someone who has a career stat of 40 top 10s and 80 starts and has a lot of long distance races in his back corner. I'm going to go with Mike Mahaney. In my opinion, one of the best small block drivers in the modified scene. Consistently good here. Like I said, 40 top 10s and 80 starts. This track, has more than just, 15 starters. This track is always a big field, always brings a lot of guys, and especially this race, a stat like that you can't ignore. Mike Mahaney, I'm going to go with.
And his dad wasn't so bad in that race and at that track either over the years. And yeah, Mahaney, like you said, he's one of the top small block guys. Williamson, everybody knows how dominant he's been in the 58. Mahaney's right there with him on the 58 series tour right now. So great pick on that one. I think another guy to watch out for who actually podiumed in this race last year in the Zielinski car on relatively short notice, and that was after running Sportsman all year. He just picked up the Vermont 200 win. That's Matt Janzik. Keep your eye on him. He's really good at Fulton. He's won that the Sportsman race there multiple times now since that race moved over to 358s. He's about to lock up the Utica Rome 58 championship, so definitely keep your eye on him as the dark horse.
Yeah, you stole it from me right at the end there. He has a win in small blocks this year at Utica Rome. Shorter distance race, sure, but if you're able to put it all together and you get a little bit of luck, that goes your right. I could absolutely see Janzik walking away with a surprise victory in this one.
Yeah, and he just picked up that 200 crate Sportsman. I get a little bit different than 58, but a lot of those modified guys say that the 358s drive more like a crate Sportsman than they do a big block anymore. So, yeah, you said riding that momentum, just picked up that big payday out there at Devil's Bowl, and see how he does through the rest of this off season or the big money season.
Yeah, I mean, 200 lap win is the same as another. It's a great practice. See what he could do. All right, up next is Oswego Speedway Salute to the Troops 150, the 358 series race. And I'm going to be honest, I had a really hard time picking a winner of this one. I spent maybe a half hour going through Race Stats Central, seeing how these guys perform, maybe looking at how their small block racing has been going this year. But I'm going to be boring on this one. I really didn't want to be boring in any of my picks, but I'm going to be boring. Matt Williamson, really hard to bet against him on this race.
Yeah, it is. He's really good with the 358. He's really good at Oswego. I've been boring throughout this. I just, want to get things right, and I still am going to end up blowing it. But I would go with Williamson too if I were you. I'm going to go a little bit off the wall with this one. This is a way out of left field pick, but he showed a lot of speed last year and ended up getting screwed up at the pit stop. They didn't quite get him off the jack stand in time. Was on fire at the start of the year and has really struggled as of late, but I know that they're working on a new program right now. Whenever Zach Albertine's there helping out, turning the wrenches, and that's Lance Willix. And again, no, that's completely out of left field, but he's been very fast there in the past. He was good at the mile even. He led laps on the mile multiple times. If you're asking me who's going to win, it's going to be Matt Williamson, but keep your eye on Lance Willix.
That is a great dark horse pick. I remember watching the small block race at Eastern States last year, and Willix was maybe not up in the front, but making incredible moves. And he is up with Rabi, some of the greater dark horse small block drivers you could have. That's a fun pick. I like that one.
He was top 5 he ended up being top 5 at Eastern States last year, and I think until he pitted, he was 3rd at Oswego. And then, like I said, this year, he's got his wins at his home tracks at Can-Am and Glen Ridge, but he also invaded Brockville and picked up a win, invaded Mohawk, picked up a win, invaded Cornwall, picked up a win. So he can do it on different surfaces. I think he's top 3 in points right now at the 358 series. If he's not third, he's fourth. So yeah, he's right there, as good as those guys, and another guy that's really underappreciated.
Man, that's such a good pick. I'm a little jealous on that one. I forgot all about the pit stop issue last year, because that's not going to show up in the results tab. Oh man.
And actually, the previous year too, he was running top 5, and I believe he didn't pit. And him and Danny Johnson both ran out of gas in the last 5 laps while he was running up front. So he's been good at Oswego.
Oh man, that's a good one. All right, let's just jump right into the 200 then. The next day, the biggest race in motorsports, in modifieds. Yeah, in motorsports. I'll go with that too. Super Dirt Week Grand Finale. The Billy Whitaker Cars and Trucks 200 laps at Oswego. Who are you going to take?
So for this one, I'm going with. So in 2023, this guy didn't qualify. Last year, he was contending for the win. He's going to be going there with his own 84Y car. He's still going to have Kevin Bates and Bruce. He's going to have that own crew there. But Alex Jankowski is also going to more than likely have Tommy Conroy and Jay Casimore from the Stuart Friesen team helping him out there. So Jankowski went from 2023 not qualifying, 2024 contending for the win, fell off late in that race. He's going to be with the Petruska 66 team with all those other factors in there, not in the 84Y. He'll be in the 84Y for the 258 race. But so you got the Petruska team mixed in with his own team, mixed in with a lot of the key parts of the team that won this race a year ago. I predict Alex Jankowski wins the 200.
That's phenomenal stuff. When you said didn't qualify in 2023, I don't know why my first thought was going to Zach Payne, who had a top 6 qualification, but then because the race got moved to Monday, he ended up not starting the race.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's tough to pick against, man. You're right. He has probably some of the 3 best teams in his corner going in there, but I gotta say he's not going to win this race. I gotta say, it's someone who has the best track record for passing in features this season. I'm going to go with Eric Rudolph. I'm going to go with the guy who passes cars left, right, and center in feature races. The live pit stops element is going to amplify that. 200 laps means he has plenty of time to do it. And I think he could save his tire wear to be one of the best. I think Eric Rudolph is about to have the biggest win of his season, of his career, coming up.
That's a good one. I can't fault the Rudolph pick. He's definitely shown a lot of speed there in the past. He had that really scary wreck in turn 1. The last year the track was pretty rough, but other than that, it's been, whether he was driving for the Chrysler team or his own car or the BBL team, he's been fast every year. And yeah, that'd be a huge pick. Jimmy Phelps, another guy to keep your eye on.
Absolutely.
He didn't have a great year last year and was a rocket ship. He was probably the fastest car towards the end of that race, was the only guy to really challenge Stuart Friesen in the second half of that race. And he's a guy that, talking about Lance Willix, he was good on the mile, good at Oswego. Jimmy Phelps, for active drivers, there might not be another driver that has had more success at Super Dirt Week overall than Jimmy Phelps that does not have a win.
Yeah, Jimmy Phelps, absolutely. I remember he won the pole in that rainouts or postponed 2023 race. Jimmy Phelps he has a knack for picking it up during the end of the season.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say. He's a great sleeper.
Yeah, he's sat on the pole at Syracuse, led at Syracuse till late. He's ran out of gas at Oswego while leading. Last year, like I said, second place finish, was probably the fastest car at the end of that race. So that HBR car definitely wants to win Super Dirt Week, and I know Jimmy Phelps wants to win it too. So I would not count them out despite the year that they've had.
So we do have some highlights of some of the races we've mentioned, but if we're already an hour and 15 minutes into this stream, so
that's fine.
I think we're okay with just pushing this show along a little bit here. I know the 200 lap highlights is 17 minutes long, so if everyone else is okay, let's just kind of
Yeah, they can find them.
Yeah, I do see a lot of people coming in and out. Thank you guys so much for checking out the stream, seeing what this is about. This is just something, a fun idea I had, just to check in with everybody. I used to do these streams weekly, and one reason or another I kind of had to stop doing them. But this. Thank you guys again for checking it out, commenting, watching, liking. Modified Nation, man, it's one of the best. Okay. The next day after Oswego, though, we have a track born from the coronavirus, the Canadian Dirt Week at Cornwall Speedway. It pays $10,000 to win. I have that starred because I can never find if that's Canadian dollars or American dollars, but it's $10,000.
Yeah.
Let's see. So who do I have? I mentioned him earlier in this stream, picking up a win at Drummond. He has 5 small block wins this season, including one at Cornwall already. I think Felix Waugh is going to roll some momentum from Oswego, from his win he's going to get at Drummond, and pick up another big money season race at Cornwall in the Canadian Dirt Week.
He's picked up a lot of them. I think he now has like 3 different $10,000 wins at Cornwall over the years. So that's a really good pick. And he's, 20? So I'm going with a different guy, though, that's going to be coming from Oswego and heading up to Cornwall on Sunday. And that's going to be Tim Fuller. The Marescas are a big part of that race up there and are a big sponsor. And that's who owns the Tim Fuller 19. He's been fast at Cornwall. He's another one that's had a bit of an off year right now, but he did pick up a $10,000 win at Cornwall earlier this year, and he's always been fast there. So I'm going with Tim Fuller to take the money back to the States.
Yeah, I remember the really big storyline that came out when he won that race earlier this year. So you're saying because the track owners own that car, is they're going to look the other way? When
No. He's just a sponsor. He's a sponsor.
Okay.
Actually, I think the track owners at Cornwall actually own Corey Wheeler's car, and Corey Wheeler did just win the championship. But I'm not one of those guys that's.
We should not have made this joke.
I know, because we have an Outlaw Speedway race coming up to preview, and they have like 12 cars there. So there are 12 cars owned by Tyler.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say, every time I go to Outlaw, it's definitely more than 12 cars starting that race.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just meant he owns a lot of the cars out there, and I might pick one of them.
Kevin in the chat says Shepard wins Oswego, making up for a so-so season. It's a great pick. It's a boring pick, but it is a great pick.
He's actually struggled a little bit at Oswego. I mean, he was another guy that faded pretty hard last year, and
then what happened the year before?
Yeah, I hear you. But he was a whole different person that year. I mean, don't get me wrong, Matt Shepard's still at the top of his game and everything like that, but he was, legendary year kind of stuff going on. I mean, what was it? The year before that, he won over $700,000 by kind of taking all the big money everywhere. Yeah. So, I think the rest of the people have caught up a little bit, and his American Racer program right now is stout, but I think he's missing a little something in the Hoosier stuff. Obviously, with Randy Kosaki turning the wrench, it's only a matter of time until they hit on it, and they're right back to where they are. That Shepard and Kosaki partnership is deadly, but I am still a believer that it's not going to be this October. Probably next October, he'll lead all 200 laps and also lead every race that is on this damn list and be right back to where he was. But I don't think this is his year.
Yeah, he's definitely having a down year, and Kevin, you're right. It's been a so-so season, but historically, as someone who goes to that race every year and sees that 9S at the top of the leaderboard for 3 out of the 4 days, it's a good pick. It's a boring pick, and I don't want to be boring. I want to be fun.
I've made many boring picks, Kevin, so I'm right there with you.
Thank you for commenting. All right, so what do we got next? We got the Boss, Brockville, Ontario Speedway. Something interesting that I didn't realize until I was putting together this list is that the SDS race is the night before the small block race.
Yeah, they did it that way. I actually think Brockville wanted to do it that way. That Saturday race has been the 58 race for a while now, and I have not been to the DIRTcar Fall Nationals yet, but everybody says it's an absolute blast. So that's definitely on my bucket list to get to. I got to Brockville for the Super Dirt Series race earlier this year, that Alex Payne won, and it was a blast. But have not got to this race. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the 58 series and the Big Block series both pay 10,000 to win. Are we doing the Big Blocks first?
Yeah, we'll just go in chronological order, I guess you'd call that.
Sure. Is it your turn or my turn?
No, I went with Felix Waugh first.
All right. So
Cornwall,
in
I
this
should
one
say.
here, sorry, what was that?
At Cornwall, I should say,
Oh, yeah.
as I picked first last time.
So I am actually going to go for the big block race at this one. I'm going to go with Eric Rudolph. He has been. It's been a little bit since he's ran at Brockville all that regularly. He was back there earlier this year with the Super Dirt Series, but he's won this. He's won at this weekend in the past. And I'm picking Eric Rudolph to take home the big block portion of this race.
So we do think, maybe not at the same race, we think Rudolph is going to break through this year and get back to his winning ways in the SDS.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been really, really good out west in Western New York, Western Pennsylvania the past couple seasons, kind of making it look like child's play out there. So seeing him come back to the DIRTcar Series this year, not seeing him run top 3 every single race, kind of a shock, kind of, lets you realize that, welcome back to reality, Eric, but he is still one of the best.
Yeah, he's still 4th or 5th in points. He's been right there, picked up the win at Volusia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been cool too, going back to, cheering for some different chassis doing well. It's been cool seeing him out in Western PA duo that GSR deal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot he's in a GSR. I totally forgot about that.
Just out west right now. He's not been running him on any of these tour races, but he's got quite a few wins, especially at Tri-City, and I think he even got one at Lernerville, if I remember right, in the GSR as well.
I know he won at Lernerville. I don't know what chassis he was in.
Yeah.
Okay, so who do I got? The boss. Okay. So let me see. Yes, I did mention him earlier in this stream. He has 3 top 10s in the last 3 Super DIRTcar Series races at Brockville, and I think that's a stat you can't ignore considering how stacked these DIRTcar races are, especially in the Canadian region. I'm going with my man's Pots and Pans, Mike Mahaney, to pick up another win in the Super DIRTcar Series at Brockville.
Nobody, neither one of us going with the 2-time defending Super Dirt Series winner, Brockville Alex Payne, huh?
No, it'll just be too good to be true to get 3 in a row.
I know. I hear you. So what do you got for the 58 portion of the Fall Nationals?
Well, I think it's going to be a hat trick of Canadian race wins. I think he's going to, actually, I wrote here, he's going to sweep all the small block Canadian big money race seasons. Felix Waugh is going to have a fall to remember and really cement himself as a household name, even here in the States.
I'm going with David Hebert to pick up this one. He's won this race before. He has 8 58 series wins in the past. One of those came at Brockville. Going to be a little bit mad after what happened last week at Granby here going into the big money season, and I think he's going to steal at least one, and I think this is the one he takes.
So do you have any background knowledge on why it was him and who else got some slap on the wrist? Yeah.
They got injured on the track, and then I don't think they got physical. I think they just kind of got in each other's face a little bit in the pits, and they decided to go that route. I asked around to some of my friends from up there if they thought that the punishment was worth it, and I didn't really get an answer. So I don't know if it was actually warranted or not. But yeah, that was a bit of a shocker. Then Perrant comes in and steals the championship by 1 point. So yeah, costly thing. And then, I mean, it was also, I think he was top 3, or he was definitely top 5. I believe he was 3rd in the NASCAR regional series going into that last week too. So Hebert lost that on the regional NASCAR money, the point championship money. It was definitely a costly thing and definitely controversial.
Yeah, I wish more news actually came out about it, but I don't, just because it's in Canada, I guess we don't get to know that much about it. But yeah, it's a shocker when someone with the nickname as the Great Canadian Champion gets disqualified from all these championship races.
Yeah, he's definitely David Hebert's a great guy, great for the sport and everything like that. But he's definitely one of those.
Man, you don't have to brown nose him. Don't worry.
No, I like David Hebert, but he's one of those guys that people either love him or they hate him, and he's those are the kind of personalities you need up there. he's definitely had a few run-ins here and there, and there's definitely some intense rivalries up there. Let's just put it that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Kevin says pots and pans I like way better than smooth shoe.
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
not a
come up
big
with that. What was that?
I didn't really like. I don't really like the smooth shoe thing either.
No, it's weird. I mean,
Yeah.
I get what you're going for. You know, you want to be smooth as you're driving, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Could've done
it's
better.
a stretch. I hate Mr. Freeze for Stuart Friesen too. I hate it. Sounds like something that like a kindergartner came up with. I never liked the Mr. Freeze nickname for him.
And I think he did drop it. I haven't seen that for a while. I really just see Stewie now.
I think that's what that Ozzy, I forget his name, but he was the Victory Lane announcer for a few years. He was from Eldora, but he did it at Syracuse for a few years there, and always referred to him as Mr. Freeze. But yeah, I don't know if you remember when he first came up, they used to call him the Reason Stuart Friesen. I thought
I
that
don't
one
remember
was
that, but that's awesome.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's better than Mr. Freeze. I don't know if that one works either, but yeah, the Mr. Freeze one didn't like that one. But I don't like Smooth Shoe either.
Yeah. What I do like though is how we do have nicknames for all of these drivers.
Yeah,
It definitely helps showcase some of the guys' personality, you know, behind the
I
wheel, so they're not just a random name.
there's a lot of repetition though. You know, you got the Rocket Ryan Phelps, and then you got the Ringo's Rocket Ryan Good, and then the Ravina Rocket Keith Flack, and it's just it's
Kid
just
Rocket.
Kid Rocket. Yeah, yeah. So I just a lot of repetitions. Let's get some unique ones out there.
All right, so let's jump right over to Outlaw Speedway. You mentioned you're gonna go with someone who's sponsored by Tyler Seary.
Yeah, one of the Tyler Seary racing cars. Bobby Varian kind of came out of the gates this year and was really fast. And then Maresca kind of came and took over and kind of ran away with that point championship a little bit. But I think Bobby Varian, he gets up on that wheel. He's not afraid to be aggressive, and he's going to be hungry because he's not going to be one of the guys that's not at a lot of these big money races. So it's going to be one of his few chances to get some big money. So I think Bobby Varian powers his way to the front and takes it home the 77.77 for Dutch Hogue.
Yeah, he definitely. He didn't. Did he finish that far behind Maresca in the championship? I know he was second, but I thought it was a lot closer.
It was one of those deals where if it wasn't double points, it would have been locked up already. But he had a chance because it was double points. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, and I do want to say I see a lot of Varan T-shirts at races I go to. Not even at Outlaw or races he's at. Like at Afton, there was someone in front of me who was wearing a Varan shirt. And spoilers, next week video is going to be from Afton. He's a fan favorite, man. That's a good pick. I'm going to go with someone who's even more of a fan favorite, though. Who competes weekly at Outlaw. Only one win this season. And this is someone who's been threatening retirement for a couple years now. So I think Danny Johnson is going to do the Cinderella story, win this race, and then in his Victory Lane interview say this was it for his racing career. I think he's going to win and bow out in the biggest race at Outlaw Speedway.
yeah, no, that would be awesome. He can definitely still get it done, and it's been nice to see him at some more of these races here. And again, I'm really glad that Tim Gibson decided to come back for another year and give Danny another year behind the wheel. And I will be cheering for him for sure.
Yeah, and if that does happen, the free camping that Outlaw has, that will also burn down too. So that'd be a great one. But I think if he wins another Crown Jewel race, I think he'll hang it up right there and then. Not going to be a lot of happy people to hear that part, but to see him winning another one, that's going to put a lot of smiles on their face.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I think that he's going to try to do it as long as he can. We'll see. I mean, it's there's not a better way to go out. We saw Billy Van Pelt and Billy Pouch kind of do that, retire in Victory Lane, and you don't get much more storybook than that.
Yeah, I just think, he's seeing Hearn hanging up. He's seeing Decker not really run a lot anymore. Daniel Johnson Jr., if he's actually a junior, I never figured that out. Daniel Johnson, I think he's going to want to try to help grow his racing career in the future too. But I think that would just be such an awesome storyline to come out of out of Outlaw Speedway this year.
Yeah, no, that's that would definitely be one of the big stories there of the fall.
All right, this next one is another one where, again, I had to spend a half hour just sitting, thinking, wondering how in the world is the Eastern States 100 race going to play out. The small block race where we see a lot of guys come from nowhere to win. We see a lot of household names come from nowhere and win. But I'm going to go a little bit of bias here. Leaning on historical results, he has a lot of experience at Orange County. He has a small block championship under his belt, and he is overdue for an Eastern States weekend win. I'm going to go with Anthony Perego, who has a phenomenal race in the small block Saturday night portion.
Yeah, that's I would have went that route too, but I'm going to instead make him my Eastern States 200 pick now. So spoiler, but I'm going to switch mine up then. So I'm going to go with Matt Williamson then to pick up the 358 race. He's another one that has been very strong there in the past. He's got his connection with the Jeff Parent team, who are going to help him with the setup and everything like that. And we've seen how good they've been with Tommy Meyer there, with Matt Williamson there. So them helping out. Yeah, I think I'm going Matt Williamson to pick up the 100, which is another race that he's won in the past. But yeah, that the 58 race is always a lot of fun. No pit stops in that one anymore.
Right.
So it is a bit of a dash compared to, the more strategic in the 200.
Yeah. I mean, Williamson has a great track record too at that place. He picked up the Centennial win, running the 3 RS. I don't know if it was called the RS, but the 3 car there. He has Eastern States wins. That's a good pick too. It's just Orange County loves parity. It's just a track that always does. We've seen Tanner Van Dorn pick up his first career win earlier this year at the place.
Dom Roselli Jr.
Yeah. Yep. It's a track that loves parity. Perego, I think, is just way too overdue, and he's going to figure it out, and he's going to dominate this one. Who did you go with the 200?
So I went with Perego then for the 200. I figured
Okay.
he's going to take one of them. He's too good there not to have that one yet.
Yeah, he's overdue. I will get absolutely blitzed at the 31st lap, just so you know if it happens. I'm going to go with a different former track champion on this one. I've mentioned him earlier in the stream. He has 22 top 10s and 40 starts at the track. He is going to use the entire big money season to really fine-tune the Batmobile. The Sangria Slingshot, who loves Orange County Fair Speedway, I think picks up the Eastern States 200.
Yeah, he won the Eastern States 100 a few years ago with the 58. So he's won big races there, and if he's got that big block fine tuned and hooked up the way it looked throughout Summerfest, that's definitely a guy that's going to be there.
I will never forget that 100 lap race that he won, and it was Mark Johnson and Matt Shepard side by side going down the back straight on the final lap. One slid the other up the racetrack, and Britton from third passes both of them through turn 4 to win it. I bought a Peter Britton t-shirt that night.
Yeah, he's definitely exciting. He's like, I feel like people don't give him, everybody talks about the Larry lane and stuff like that. Peter Britton pounds the outside with the best of them.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And he's just,
he
really
makes moves like that. Yeah.
He's really come into Orange County in the past couple of years. He didn't race there full time this year. But like I said, he picked up the track championship, the Big 3 Series last year. And the Sangria Slingshot has a lot of fans at that place now, too.
Yeah, no, he's definitely been a rocket there. And he was good, I mean, right out of the box. I remember the year I interned with Dirt, he was a rookie on the Super Dirt Series, and he set first or second first time there. So he was good right out of the box and has only gotten better there.
All right. Up next, we have a race that jumped ship in a controversial move, going from the Short Track Super Series to the Super DIRTcar Series. Name change as well. This is now the Delaware Diamond 75. So I'm going to go with someone who we've already both touched as having a career season. Someone who has a lot of experience down in Georgetown, while a lot of the SDS regular guys probably don't have. Alex Jankowski picks up a Cinderella win at Georgetown in the Delaware Diamond 75.
So Matt Shepard is going to win this race. He's had a lot of success there over the past. He's going to win, but I'm going to not be boring just for you. And I'm going to go with Billy Pouch Jr. He's going to
That's a
win the
good
championship
pick.
here again. He's a multi-time champion there. He's won the Beach Blast, the Short Track Super Series races, and I know he really, really, really wants to win a Super Dirt Series race. So if he wasn't able to race at New Egypt earlier this year because he was running at Bridgeport, so this is going to be his best chance to get that done. So he's going to have all hands on deck, and I'm picking him to pull off a bit of a minor upset.
That's a very, very entertaining pick. When you said Matt Shepard, that was the most decisive I think you've been this entire stream.
Yeah, he's good at Georgetown. Now I say that now Billy Pouch Jr. just kicked his ass at the Camp Barnes a couple weeks ago and won that race. So, but between his Hoosier experience, when you factor that in along with his Georgetown experience, I just don't see him losing that one. So we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong, just because let's get some parity going.
Do we think any of the Southern Division guys might pull out a fast one like a Ryan Godown or maybe a Watt or a Loudon Reimer?
Yeah, I mean they're all. Ryan Watt has won plenty of races down there in the past. Ryan Godown's a multiple-time track champion there. He's a guy that's going to be good. Don't forget the last time the Super Dirt Series was there, it was all the way back in 2008, I believe. But a Delaware guy actually won. H.J. Bunning in that Blue Hen 30. He was still driving for that team back then. He defended the home turf against those guys. So they could pull a fast one again on us.
Yeah, I think this is really going to be the I don't want to say the last hurrah, but like all of the Southern modified guys, this is probably going to be their last race of the year, so they're going to throw absolutely everything at their car and try to win this race. I think this is going to be one of the most entertaining ones of big money season.
Yeah, I'm hoping that a lot of those guys have big blocks to be able to run there because I know like the Watson brothers, unfortunately, as of right now, they don't have a big block or anything like that. I believe the Blades Motorsports 65 still around, so we should see like Hubbard. Bunting still has his big block program together. I believe Carson Wright has big blocks. Bobby Watkins has big blocks. So we're going to see a couple of them, but I hope that some more of those guys from down there could get dirt legal stuff and be able to run because I don't think a lot of guys realize how good, like, again, Jordan JoJo Watson are because they don't get a chance to see him a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it could be a fun field too because you're going to have all the teams that are towing south from even the guys from up north that are going to the World Finals. So you got a good payday opportunity on the way down there. So hit that up the Saturday before and then unload at Charlotte Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, well, let's unload at Charlotte, night one. Who are you thinking?
So Anthony Parego is always very fast at Charlotte, so he's going to pick up one of these nights. So I'm going to say night one just because why not?
It was last year. It was my final video of the year because the Gobbler ended up getting canceled for rain. Parego won that race, but that was the race I was having issues with my phone, so I didn't get the chance to record the whole video. So what I ended up doing is going right up to Victory Lane, slamming the chain guardrail with my Parego sweatshirt, and cheering him on louder than the Canadians were cheering their boys.
He's been fast there the multiple years, so hopefully you can bang your Parego sweatshirt on the gate all over again.
I don't have Parego winning any of the nights at Charlotte, though. I think Alex Jankowski uses the momentum from his win at Georgetown and rolls right into Charlotte to pick up night number one. And to give him a little bit of motivation, I think he's still going to be in a very tight points battle with Matt Williamson going into this last weekend of the year.
Would love to see that. Kept those storylines going. The unfortunate part for Alex Jankowski is who I have winning night two is Matt Williamson because he is phenomenal at Charlotte. We said Anthony Parego's good. Matt Williamson's phenomenal. He was good in his own car. He won a Super Dirt Series race, or he won the World Finals with his own number 6 there, and then you partner up with Buzz Chu and Spot and all those guys, and he's been unbeatable. I believe he's won at least one night every year since he partnered up with them. So I got Matt Williamson winning night number 2.
I think it is at least one night for the 3 or 4 years. I think the one I'm not sure is the one where Jankowski and Hearn both won a race. That's the year I'm not sure about.
Yep, you're probably correct then because I think they only ran 2 features back then.
Yeah, because
So,
they
yeah.
used the first night as like just a qualifying night.
Yeah, I believe that night ended up being the youngest ever Super Dirt Series winner and the oldest
And then
ever
the
Super Dirt.
oldest, yeah.
Yeah.
Who do I have for night 2? Oh, this is going to be a fun one. And the only thing I have written in my notes for this pick is just a hunch. But now that I think about it, Max McLaughlin has a lot of experience running down in southern dirt tracks with his late model program last year, as well as now he's going to have a lot of experience under his belt with the modified once again, running Oswego, running. There's another race I'm blanking out.
Eastern State. Well, potentially Eastern States, but
Eastern States.
yeah, yeah. He's running this weekend at Weedsport.
That's it. Yeah. So he's going to be quite familiar with the modified again. He's going to use that experience to fine tune with his experience on running more southern red dirt racetracks. I think he's going to pick up night number 2, and I think it's going to be a really, really enjoyable one for the fans.
Yeah, that would definitely be a popular one. Do you remember, speaking of guys that have driven for Tyler Seary, I think it was like Max McLaughlin's first time in a modified. He went to Charlotte in a Tyler Seary ride and set fast time one of the nights. So he's definitely been faster over the years, and hopefully knock some of that rust off in time to park that JLR car in Victory Lane.
Was that the when he drove the red and yellow number 32?
That was no. This was actually, it was like an all black, and it was the number 8, I believe. They had it re-lettered up.
No, I don't remember this one at all.
Yeah, no, it was like a one-off deal. He might have ran it one other time up at Outlaw, but yeah, it was really random, and he was fast, and he faded quite a bit when it came to feature time, but still right out of the box, and to be that fast, and obviously he's got a whole heck of a lot more experience now, and has shown speed there as well.
Yeah, and like I said, just the experience he's going to have now running on red dirt, while all of us Northeasterners never see it outside of this weekend. I think he's going to give it an advantage.
Yeah, and then last night for it, I'm going to end up going with Peter Britton. We talked about guys that can hammer the outside. That track usually has quite a bit of tackiness in it, and builds up a little bit of a curve there. So I think Peter Britton breaks through. He's been close there a few times, but I think he finally knocks through. He picked up the Dirt Car Nationals back in February. Now I think he gets the World Finals.
So what I'm hearing now from this whole stream is we think Peter Britton is going to have one of the greatest falls of his career, winning multiple races here. We haven't actually had the same pick yet, which I'm really surprised about, but we've both said Peter Britton quite a bit.
I've had to change a couple. You picked the guys I thought were gonna.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, who? Don't leave me hanging.
There was, you picked Matt Shepard, Fonda. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, that's a given, sure.
Yeah. There was one other one you picked Williamson, and I was like, that's who's gonna win. I heard the 58 race at Oswego. I think you picked Williamson. I would have taken Williamson, but I switched it up then last minute. So, yeah, you got me on a couple of them.
Okay, all right. Well,
that's exciting this way since you say my picks are too obvious and boring.
All right, well, my last pick of the night, I'm going to say his car owner is going to use some of that notebook that McLaughlin has picked up, put it in his own car, and I'm going to say Lehner picks up his first career Super DIRTcar Series win, way overdue, and using McLaughlin as, I don't want to say a crutch, but someone who's able to test and tune his car. I think he's going to finally break through and pick up that win.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys that has knocked on the door a few times, and Charlotte has been a good spot for first-time winners. Alex Jankowski, when he won that was his first Super Dirt Series win. You had Tim Kerr's upset years ago. There was Matthew Desjardins in the driving the Saint So 37 car, picked up his first career Super Dirt Series win. I believe Williamson, when he won, it was only his second, but it's definitely been a place that you've seen some guys be able to break through, and the short distance in that race is another factor. If you can get out there early on, and for any of the Charlotte races, you can get out there early on and take advantage of that clean air. If you can unload fast and qualify well, you got a good shot at pulling something off. And would love to see Jack Lehner. He's got the Club Wago on the car, so we really want to see Jack Lehner park it in one of these.
You took the words right out of my mouth there. The Charlotte races are only 30, 35 laps each, and we've been talking 100, 200 laps this entire night. the short distance race that these races have is real curveball on top of the track is nothing like a Northeast track. The red dirt is absolutely nothing else. You're competing with sprint car rubber and late model rubber. It's a completely different animal than everything else we've seen, which really throws in the curveball element. And you mentioned the Club Wago logo. If you're hearing the intro, what I did is I took a picture of Lehner's car and I just traced over the car to get the logo on the screen.
High tech. It's high tech work right there.
Oh yeah. Do we want to make a prediction on Super DIRTcar Series champion?
I think I want Alex to climb back into this and make this a race, but it's his first year doing the whole thing. He started doing the tour a couple of years ago and fell off when he ran into some motor issues, but he's still going to be dealing with some places that Matt Williamson's really, really strong at, and he has to chip away at that lead. And going to Can-Am's a track that Matt Williamson has a whole lot more experience. He's won it there before. That's going to be a tough spot. Williamson's as good as anybody at Weedsport, so it's going to be tough to make up points there. You go to Oswego, Williamson's been as good as anybody there. Brockville, Jankowski's only been there one time before, and then you run into Georgetown, advantage Jankowski. But going into Charlotte, I just feel like it's going to be too insurmountable, and I'm going with Matt Williamson to take the championship, unfortunately. And I love you, Matt Williamson, but Pennsylvania, you got to cheer for the Pennsylvania guy.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I have to go the same way. Williamson just has the experience of running full championship races or seasons, while Jankowski is still building up his really young notebook. But same way, Money Matt, you're phenomenal. I love the beer bash. I love the energy and excitement you bring. Easily one of the most entertaining drivers to root for. But I do also like to have some parity in my racing. Would love to see Jankowski, break through. Would he become the youngest champion if he does get it?
I would imagine. I can't think of anybody that would have been younger.
Yeah, but you can't go against Williamson on this one. It's going to be exciting. I do think it's going to come down to the final race, but I think at the end of the day, it'll be Williamson's boat to sail.
Yeah, and it's been a fun year on the Super Dirt Series. I mean, it's been a fun year in general, but if you count the races at Volusia, they've had 13 different winners already this year, and if you don't count Volusia, you still had 11 different winners this year. So it's been a fun year, and hopefully it stays fun with some excitement and the points battle up until the championship night.
You, once again, took the words right out of my mouth. My newest video is going to drop tomorrow. It is from the Mr. Dirt Track USA race at Lebanon. And in Victory Lane, I did mention how Schroeder becomes the 13th different winner of the season. The parity has been phenomenal. The racing is phenomenal. The SDS is one of the most exciting championships, not only on dirt, but in the world. And I'm so grateful that I get to attend about half of them. I really could do more if I wanted to. But, man, it's just, there's nothing like big block modified racing. And what else can you say, man? It's great.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the nice part is I know it's relatively regional, but that's the nice part about it, if that makes any sense, because everybody's within an 8-hour drive of each other, so it's not uncommon to see guys they don't do it as much as we'd like to, and that whole rules debate is for a whole nother day that prevents a lot of that stuff. But it's not out of the realm of possibility to see guys from Delaware go to Oswego, or guys from Quebec come down to Oswego, and you got Knoxville. You don't see many of the Pennsylvania guys go anymore, which sucks. And you got the World 100 at Eldora right now, and you got all these other races going on. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I still think that we could do a whole lot better to have a real grand finale event, but the nice part about big money season is kind of the whole thing is a grand event, and you get to see all these different drivers from different areas, and like you said, this is just kind of scratching the surface of those main ones. So the regional thing's not as bad as people say, because we're all right here together.
Yeah, I actually love the regionality that Northeast Modified Racing has, because we mentioned Drelos's late model. If New York, the Northeast becomes a late model country, well, we're not really going to be that different from Georgia, who's not that different from Missouri, who's not that different from Florida and all the areas of the world where late model racing happens. Or you look at Pennsylvania and Indiana and Iowa, they're all the same sprint car guys. But if you come to the Northeast, you come for the modifieds.
Yeah, and it's nice. Like, I mean, I'm even from the southern part of modified country, but within a 4-hour drive for me, there still are 25 track options. If not, there's more than that. There's around 35 track options that run the style cars we love. And as you get out to some of those other areas, I don't think we realize as race fans how lucky we do have it. Because we are kind of all right on top of each other, especially you New York guys. You guys really have it lucky up there. But yeah, we're in a really good area, and if it's going to be regional, it should be an area that has a lot of tracks. And just look at how many tracks you're up to. You can test better than anybody.
Yeah, well, I cheat a little bit. I also go to some pavement stuff, but and I will be adding some sprint car stuff in Pennsylvania next year, and maybe some more New England stuff. But whatever, we'll gloss over that. Big money season 2025. Definitely, I think any way you look at it, it's going to be another memorable one. I'm really, really excited to see how this plays out, and I'm excited to see how many of these we get wrong, because I don't think there are going to be many.
I'll be really happy if I get a couple right. That'd be, that would make me feel good. Be a good ego boost.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up here, Jamie? Thank you so much for jumping on. This was, I'm glad this idea turned out so well.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad you had me on. Thank you.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll do something like this again at the end of the year, just to circle back around, see how we did, and maybe do a little prediction for what the off-season shakeup might look like.
Sounds great to me. Anytime.
Everybody else, support your local short track. A lot of people say the sport's dying, but as someone who goes out to these races every weekend, I see packed grandstands all the time. It's always so fun to root for your favorite drivers, to root against some other drivers, to meet friends, and kind of just turn into a part of the family. Ken Bruce says, good show, guys. Thank you so much, Ken, for watching. Subscribe for more, like the stream if you liked it. If you're watching the replay, feel free to drop in the comments any predictions you guys might have. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook. I'm both at Bear Racing Vlogs. Jamie, are you just on Twitter at Club Wago?
Yep.
All right, then.
Not either. So I'm sorry I let you down.
That's about it, guys.